While many of us are easing into the new year, some brides, grooms, and their families are just starting to plan for weddings in the months ahead.
It's a lot of work, that's for sure. Our Gian Lee is live at Chandon Fashion in Brampton this morning, getting an early look at some of the trends for 2024. So here comes the G.
Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Jen. That's right. We're here in Brampton at Chandon Heritage, and you can see it is full wedding season. A lot of brides-to-be and grooms-to-be getting ready to plan for that big day, whether it's dress, makeup, photography, and food. All of these things are so important to plan out as you get ready for the big day. So we're going to talk about food in this first segment. Joining me now is Harjit Singh with Tamron. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
All right, I can't help but drool over this table.
Amazing,
this looks
right?
spectacular. Tell me about some of the food trends this year for 2024.
Yeah, so we're from Tamron Bistro in Mississauga. We have a beautiful restaurant located in the heart of Mississauga, right by Square One. Seats over 100 people, private event space, as well as a catering division. A lot of these items you see are part of our catering offering, and a state-of-the-art food truck where we can prep a lot of this on-site ready for you. So food trends for 2024, obviously a continuous focus on sustainability and waste management. Most importantly, what we're really excited for at Tamron, and can't show too much, but is a focus on new ingredients. Less familiar, less common bases, really trying to not reinvent the wheel, but actually create a new wheel in South Asian cuisine. And then lastly, the idea of food art. And so you've seen it on camera, this idea of enhancing and engaging your senses and the experience before you actually dig into the food itself. That excitement, oh my God, the food's coming from the kitchen moment, before it actually lands on your table and sits in front of you, before actually biting into really being excited about it. And so at Tamron, we're really trying our best to aesthetically bring that to the in-restaurant experience as well as the catering experience.
Beautiful. So I can't help but notice you've got dry ice here. What is this dish here?
So this is our golgappa, or pani puri. It's an in-house tamarind water. It's made specially by tamarind. Wheat bubble, and then potato and peas inside as well.
Amazing.
And then we've got our seekh kebab. It's a minced meat kebab. Chocolate hazelnut dome. So this is a lot of fun as well. If we can zoom in here, again, all about the experience, the aesthetic, and allowing our guests to have a lot of fun with that art, with the experience as well, and that's hopefully going to break down on us. An arancini ball, and then one of my favorites in South Asian cuisine is just fusion, combining gulab jamun, a traditional South Asian dish, with cheesecake, a beautiful Western dessert.
Okay, you're asking me if I had any food sensitivities because you want me to try something, but it's too beautiful for me to try. What would you like me to sample?
Well, I think we should have a golgappa.
Okay, so how do you
So
eat
you're going to
this?
grab the top, and you can take the shot in your glass, in your hand. So one for you.
Oh, I see.
Yes, so it's a two-handed thing. So
all right, I'll try my best.
There we go. And we're going to cheers, and you're going to take this and then with the water afterwards.
Okay, I'll follow
Ready?
you. Yes.
So it's going to get a little messy, but one big bite.
Okay, go for it.
More water.
Got it. I should have waited till I finished the segment in order for me to talk, but thank you so much. I'll try to take this in a second. But we are here at Chandon Heritage with a mouthful of delicious food. Thank you, Harjit.
Thank you.
Coming up, we're going to talk about more wedding trends here on CP24 Breakfast.
We are dealing with problems that are happening in Chopper 24 up and over the scene of a very serious collision which happened at the intersection of Dixie and Burnham Thorpe. The intersection is completely blocked off. As a result, no traffic is getting by. It looks like it was a Mississauga bus and another vehicle that was involved in this situation. No estimated time on when this intersection will reopen. Once it does, we will definitely keep you in the know here at CP24 Breakfast. I will show you my cameras now where we have more problems on the northbound lanes of the Don Valley Parkway on the approach to York Mills. Center lane blocked with the collision. Looks like there's just a Toronto transportation crew. It should be clearing shortly. Delays extend from well before Eglinton. Also, problems finally cleared. This is the Toronto-bound QEW on the upside of the Burlington Skyway at a long-standing stall. It was in the right lane. It's all out of the way. In the 401, problem-free, but very busy across the top of the city. Outside of camera view, Adelaide and Port Lane at last check was blocked for a police investigation. I'll send it back to you, Nick.
Busy morning, Ajwa. Thank you. All right, many of us, of course, are easing into this new year, but some brides and grooms and their families, well, they are getting underway the planning for weddings in the months ahead. Gian Lee is live this morning at Chandon Fashion in Brampton, getting an early look at some of the wedding trends for 2024, but also dining out a little there, G. But boy, take a look at the detail on these. This is remarkable.
Oh, you know, it is that time of year where brides and grooms are getting ready for the big day. And obviously, there are so many different trends every year when it comes to planning for your wedding. So we're going to bring in Sonia here. Come on in, Sonia. She's with Chic Events. Good morning.
Good morning.
So what are some of the trends for 2024 for weddings?
Yeah, so we're definitely going to see a lot of color this season, a lot of bold colors. Couples are going to be very adventurous and use of a lot of patterns that maybe we haven't seen just yet. So that's a really big one. And of course, guest experience is always big. Couples are always asking us to push the envelope and what they can do to create that wow factor. So whether it's in the food presentation, it could be embossing your monogram on ice cubes with a mixologist, or even when the dance floor is hot and heavy, having a server walk around with scented cold towels to pass around to your guests.
Really? People have made that kind of request for their
Oh,
wedding?
absolutely. we're looking outside the box.
All right. So you were mentioning some bold colors. This is if somebody wanted to go with more of like a traditional, like let's say a white dress. I know in the South Asian culture, red is a big deal. But do you go bold with maybe some of the other items like bridesmaids dresses or for the groomsmen?
Yeah, absolutely. Whether it's your wedding party or it could be your bouquet, boutonnieres, accessories, or maybe just the florals itself. So you'll definitely see a mix of the whites as well as the bold colors.
Really quickly, what's the biggest, most interesting request ever thrown at you?
To have a tattoo artist at the reception tattooing guests that are actually there, which is very different, yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, and we are talking about big and bold, and that includes decor. And this is Tina now. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Tina here is with Dream Party Decor. This setup looks beautiful. Tell me a little bit more about this.
Thank you. Well, the point of this setup was, you know, we've seen the florals, we've seen the whites, but last year since 2023, but it was about taking that and like, you know, adding a little bit of a twist, doing something bold, and almost bringing, you know, mirrors and light and bling back into the equation. I mean, I feel like bold colors are a big thing, so whether you go bold with shades and doing blacks and greens, or whether you go bold with colors and having nice pops of color, I think that's really going to be a big trend.
One of the things that you had mentioned to me was that it's also about what you want.
100%.
You know, while there are trends, do what you want. You had mentioned that you worked with a couple who are really into Harry Potter.
Yes, most definitely. I think the biggest trend that you can actually see in 2024 is really bringing your personality back into it and really showcasing who you are as a couple. I mean, you are correct. We had a client that was obsessed with Harry Potter and the Slytherin theme, and we really worked one-on-one with them to create that theme and that vision of theirs and really bring their dreams to life.
Okay, so what you are dreaming of and making it come to life. I have to mention some of these, all the details here. It's pretty incredible.
Most definitely. I think adding, you know, little details from the party favors to even adding, you know, different elements of florals, it really brings like a 3D effect, and it really brings the whole concept together. And I think that's very, very important when you're thinking of, you know, your decor, to have like a whole transformative experience for all of your guests.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So anything goes when you're planning for that big day. We are here live in Brampton at Chandam Heritage. More to come. It is wedding season, and we've got a future bride and groom. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is Afla and Abrar. And when did you get engaged?
July 29 of last year.
Of last year, and when's the big day?
It's May 26 this year.
Oh, so less than a year to plan. I have to ask, how did you propose?
Well, I did it in front of friends and family. It was very simple. It was in front of a Toronto Music Garden, and we just wanted to incorporate our family into it and just make it a special moment for us. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. So are you ready for the big day? I know it can be stressful, but are you trying to enjoy every moment of it?
It's a little bit stressful, but I'm having fun. I can get back this time, so you know, I'm just going with the flow, just having fun. So yeah.
And how about you?
Yeah, we're enjoying the moments. We're trying to, like I said, incorporate our family, you know, bring our family into this as much as we can and enjoy those small moments that we have together, because we're never going to get it back, right?
No, you're not. Well, congratulations. I know the outfit is a part of the experience. So let's bring in Chandan and Roop. And I understand you got your outfit from Chandan Heritage.
Yeah. When I came in, I knew this was the place I was going to get it from. I love how it has a modern twist to it. So yeah, It's very similar to this.
All right, so let's talk about their outfits. What are we looking at here? Good morning, first of all.
Hey, how are you?
Hello.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here today. So in true reflection of Chandan heritage, this piece reflects heritage. So we have very beautiful, regal, traditional embroideries, but we have a very non-traditional color palette. The base of this lehenga is actually a slate gray, which is not common. Instead of the traditional red base, we've just done highlights of red embroideries.
Wow. All right, and then how about the groom?
Yeah. And then for the groom as well, same concept. Most wedding sherwanis are always off-white, gold, but again, we went with that slate gray over here in a very unique corduroy fabric, and then we did all that hand embroidery on top, which will complement the bride's outfit very nicely. So it's kind of our new take on something classic, but new.
You look fantastic. Congratulations. Talk about beading and spectacular. Tell me a little bit about this dress. Go ahead.
This is actually one of my most favorite pieces in the entire store right now. We call it the chandelier, with reason. It has over, how many tassels is it, Chandan?
This one has over 50,000 tassels.
Wow. So how long does it take to make something like this?
A minimum of 6 months.
Wow.
Yes, it's all hand embroidered. Every single bead, tassel, Nalki works, Zardozi, everything is done by hand.
I love it. And you know, it's really spectacular. I wish people could see it in person because it really does shine in the light and sparkle.
You know, it's a super outfit, and Tia's rocking it so nicely. Even the dupatta, the scarf alone, it's something we've never seen before with all that work all the way through it, all that hand embroidery. It's just completely different.
I love it. And congratulations. I know you've got your TV show, Season 2, already out now.
Season 2 is here at Bollywood.
Love it. And of course, we have to talk to Tia. For those at home who don't know, this is Tia Bhatia. Hi. And you are a bride-to-be. Congratulations on getting married.
Thank
you. Getting engaged.
Engaged, yes.
Yeah. Are you ready for the big day?
Oh, I'm so ready. I don't think my dad's ready, but I'm ready.
Is there going to be a Raptors theme incorporated in any of this?
I really hope not. I hope not.
Yeah. It's your day. I get it.
I know. I'm like, Dad, just give me one day. Just give me one day. That's it.
Love it. Congratulations on getting engaged. You look beautiful. All right. So more wedding trends coming up here on CP24 Breakfast. Oh, it's amazing. And you know what? It takes so much work to plan for a wedding. It is a lot of work. We're talking about decor, outfits, flowers, photography, and of course, makeup, which is also very important, especially for the bride. So joining me now is Tina with Beauty Inc. And of course, Tia, who is getting married as well. Tell me a little bit of what you did here for makeup.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the trends this year is monochromatic makeup. And monochromatic makeup means using different shades and tones of the same color. The reason why I love this trend is because if you're a bride who has 2 outfits, it can match with anything. It's so neutral, it's elegant, it's classic, and it's timeless.
And that's what you did with Tia here?
Absolutely. So if you take a look at Tia's outfit, we pulled some browns, we pulled some nudes, and we added those to her eyes, to her skin, to her blush, and to her lips. And this is such a transferable look.
Love it. All right. Thank you so much. And then, of course, other trends. We were talking to Sonia here with Chic Events, right? And you were talking about don't be afraid of going bold in your decor. What other trends can we look at?
I mean, the food experience is big when we saw that earlier as well. Love notes or guest books are always lovely in reading back the notes itself, but also audiobooks are a really big hit this season. I mean, how lovely is it to hear your grandmother giving some words of wisdom even 10 years from now.
Really, audiobooks. What a great idea. So really infusing technology.
Absolutely. And same with 360 photo booths, super interactive. It's always a hit at weddings. There's always a big lineup for guests to join in.
All right, thank you so much, Sonia. Okay, so let's talk about the technology involved. This is One Shot Events. We've got another bride-to-be and groom-to-be. Hi! And then we've got this very cool photo booth. That's exactly what this is. So this is Amnar. How are you?
Doing great, how are you?
All right, so tell me a little bit about this modern-day photo booth.
Modern day photo booth is literally a DSLR, and it's touchscreen and very interactive. It has the ability to send it to you via email, or you could do it print copy, and it prints out like in a matter of seconds.
Okay, so let's see how it looks. We took a photo of Afla and Abrar.
So photos would look like this.
Oh.
Another one.
And you could do different templates.
Templates, we can customize it. We have the full customization, names, date, you name it, we do give it as a complimentary for the bride and the groom to take advantage of it. So, you know, it's a
Very
little
nice.
souvenir.
And Aflon or Brar, is this something that you're going to be thinking about incorporating some of this technology into your big day?
Definitely, we want something like this for our guests, for you know, to give memories for our guests and for us to keep as a memory. Yeah.
Okay, big day in May. Okay, and then of course you've got the 360 booth that everybody loves, and we've got Mohammed here. Tell me a little bit about how this works.
Yes, Angie. So basically, we have a platform and we have a selfie stick. You get to put your phone, and more or less, it goes in a 360 and captures all the angles. So it rotates for you. And yes, it got caught up in the dress, but yes, if we lift the dress, you'll see that it keeps going in the 360, and it aims to get a video and really get that interactive feeling at the wedding, dancing and just having fun with all the guests.
I love it. All right, so many great ideas for anybody that's getting married. Again, we want to thank Chandan and Roop for hosting us this morning.
Pleasure. Thank you everyone for having us.
Congratulations, and of course our future bride-to-be and groom-to-be, and Tia as well, who's also engaged. Thank you, One Shot Events. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Good morning. We are live here at the Wellington Veterinary Hospital, and Markham, this is Lenny. I might be trying to chew the microphone. And next to Lenny, this is Lana, and I'm joined by Dr. Cliff and his team, Sammy and Andrea. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Welcome.
Welcome. You just got back from Iqaluit yesterday.
Yes. Yeah, yesterday morning we landed and then drove into Toronto to drop my kids off at 2 a.m. and it's been work ever since.
Yeah, so you rescue animals from all around the world. Tell me a little bit about Lenny and Lana here.
Yeah, so Lenny and Lana came from the Iqaluit Humane Society. I was up there for about 10 days doing some volunteer work with my kids. And both of these guys have some medical issues. He's got some hind leg problems and hip dysplasia, so he's going to need some physiotherapy. And this little girl has what's called a prolapsed anus, or a reverse bum. It was sticking out. So she's had three little bum surgeries to hold things in, but they're going to do great. They just need some TLC.
Okay, and you mentioned a little bit of Lenny here, so explain to me what's wrong with Lenny.
So we call it dropped hocks.
Yeah.
He walks down on his heels.
Okay.
And he's got this kind of sexy little sway that he does, and that's because we diagnosed him yesterday with x-rays that he has some hip problems.
Okay.
But he's gonna do great. He's never gonna be 100%, but he's always gonna have that cool little swagger about him. So that's not too bad. He's going to do well. But they have no x-ray machine there. They don't have a veterinarian normally. So these guys needed to come back with me.
And this is something you've done for quite a few years now, all around the world. Tell me a little bit more about some of your missions.
Yeah, it started 7.5, 8 years ago in Jamaica. And then the word got out that I like to do adventure travel and volunteers. So, and often with my daughter, I've been to India twice, Ukraine during the war twice, Panama, Egypt, Greece, but never to the Arctic North, so that's why we headed up there, and boy, what an amazing trip. We're gonna go back for sure.
And how many animals would you say you've rescued over the years?
I mean, most of my work is done there, and then the animals stay with the families.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty smart. I don't know if I can count that high, to be honest with you. I don't think I can count that high.
All right, so you've brought Sammy and Andrea here to help us. What are we going to be doing this morning?
So
with Lana?
little Lana needs to have some medication, both to deal with the sore bum that she has after I did surgery. And then, because her bum is closed shut right now so that her colon doesn't shoot out, she has a tiny little 2-millimeter hole. So this medicine is gonna give her diarrhea, which is what we want. So she can poop through the hole.
Got it.
Still, because this purse string suture, this kind of tight closure of her bum is going to stay on for a few days just to keep everything where it's supposed to. And she wouldn't be able to poop if we didn't give her soft stool.
Understood.
So,
and then hopefully
that's
in the
why
next...
I'm holding her.
That's why you're holding her. And there's a reason why her name is Lana, right?
There is, yes. So she has a reverse bum, so we called her Lana. Adults out there can kind of do the...
Spell it backwards, you figure it out.
You figure it out.
My best friend is actually Lana, so I won't be able to look at her the same way again. These two will eventually be ready for adoption, but you have a long wait list.
We already have a long wait list. They're going to need a couple of weeks of some TLC and care, but we do already have a wait list. But There are so many homeless animals at shelters here in Toronto, all around Canada. So you don't have to necessarily get an Arctic dog. I promise you, you reach out to a shelter, you're going to find one as cute as, if that's possible, as Lonnie.
100%. Lots of rescue groups. Adopt, don't shop. If anybody wants more information about...
yeah, please help us.
Yes.
We're trying to buy an x-ray machine for the shelter. Go to gofundme.com/CliffTheVet.
Cliff the Vet. Okay, there you go. And you're looking at DJ there, who... Mom is Sammy right there, and we're here at the Wellington Veterinary Hospital in Markham, and Dr. Cliff joins me. So tell me a little bit about DJ here.
Yeah, so Sammy joined our team almost a year ago, and DJ's 11 years old, a boxer cross, and unfortunately we diagnosed her with we saw a little lump on her bum, and the test came back as a type of cancer called adenocarcinoma. And the bad news is it had spread. There was some in the lymph nodes in the abdomen. But she's had surgery, she's been given medication, and she's as close to remission as possible. She's on a great arthritis medication because she's got some sore joints. Yes. But she's a great indicator of, with good medication, with early intervention, cancer patients can live much longer, excellent quality of life. She's super happy. We love her.
Oh, so glad that she's doing so much better. Okay, thank you, DJ. And then Stevie here is really hungry.
Nom, nom, nom. Stevie is a foster cat, so we don't own him, but he owns us right now. He's from a rescue called Next Chance Cat Rescue. He is looking for a home. He's about 11 years old, 12 years old. Great with small dogs and with family. The interesting thing about Stevie is right now he's diabetic. So Sammy and Andrea are doing a little blood test. They're pricking a vein in his ear. He gets this every 12 hours. He will go into remission eventually. He's not going to need this forever. But just like people, you check the sugar level. And right now he's like weeks within being cured. And if his level is above 8.0, it is 12, he will receive an insulin injection.
So he requires an insulin injection right now, okay.
And these are all things that we purchase through, like with a prescription, through a drugstore, a human drugstore. And then he gets the special food, and he does really, really well. But cats are unique, different than dogs. Dogs, when they're diabetic, they need insulin twice a day for the rest of their lives.
Okay.
But cats have a different type of diabetes where if you control it properly, you test it properly, and you got a good veterinarian and, more importantly, technician and animal health team, you can actually get them cured from their disease.
So Stevie is looking for his forever home. Does he work well with kids and other animals?
He's great with smaller dogs. He's great with kids if the kids are nice.
Yes.
Of course. Because sometimes they're a little bit rambunctious. But he's actually a very, very good cat. He occasionally has his bad attitude moments, just like any of us, but you give him his space and he's fine. He's a super friendly cat, and Noella at Next Chance Cat Rescue has done a great job rescuing him and dozens of other cats. So please reach out to us at Wellington Vet Hospital and we can get you connected.
Yeah, and then of course we're holding Lenny and Lana, who we featured in the last segment. They came from Iqaluit.
Yes. Yeah. I did some volunteer work up there that just ended a couple of days ago. We got stranded because of bad weather, and there's only one plane out of Iqaluit, one airliner. But it was a great experience. And once these guys she's had some surgery. This guy needs some physiotherapy for some joint problems. But they're going to be needing homes as well.
Yeah.
But there's a waiting list.
There's a wait list.
There's a big wait list.
But listen, there's so many rescue groups that you work with, and shelters out there with so many animals needing a home.
Yeah. Visit your local shelter, adopt, don't shop, and be kind to animals.
Of course. And then because you do so many different missions and you go around the world helping animals, where can people go?
Yeah, there's right now a GoFundMe, gofundme.com/CliffTheVet, and that money specifically, all of it is going to the Nunavut animal shelter for all kinds of medicine supplies, but they need an x-ray machine. I couldn't x-ray him when I was there last week because they don't have a functional x-ray machine. So it's desperately needed. There's no veterinarian in the entire territory of Nunavut unless people like me go up and volunteer, so please help out.
Okay, there you go. Good morning. It is a dog party here at the Wellington Veterinary Hospital. Yay! We've got Lenny, Lana, and DJ here having a good time, loving all the toys. And Dr. Cliff and Sammy and Andrea, his staff, join me now. Dr. Cliff, we've had so much fun talking about the different animals that you've helped over the years. Let's talk about wildlife animals. You've also worked with some really good organizations.
Yeah, I started volunteering at Shades of Hope, which is a wildlife rehab place up in Georgina, so near Lake Simcoe. Arguably Canada's busiest, and they survive only on donations, so everyone check them out. So I go up there once a week, and I've been able to do falcons and bald eagles and little mice, beavers, raccoons, deer. I even did surgery on an American bullfrog that had broken its leg.
Really?
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what are some of the other procedures, or what do you do in terms of helping out some of the
I mean,
animals?
unfortunately, all the animals are generally getting injured from contact with people, hit by car. Unfortunately, a lot of people like to shoot animals with BB guns and air pellets, so don't shoot animals, kids.
No.
So we have to deal with that. We have to do surgery to remove the bullets, treat them for lead poisoning that they can get from it. And then obviously a lot of fractures, lacerations, that sort of thing. And sometimes in the springtime, they'll get entire litters of eyes closed bunnies, so almost newborn bunnies. So they syringe feed them and care for them until they can be released again. It's an amazing, amazing place.
Okay, so if you want to help out again, where can they go?
I would just Google them, Shades of Hope, Wildlife Rehab.
Beautiful.
Or reach out to me on Instagram, Dr. Cliff Worldwide Vet, and I can connect you guys because they would love to help.
Okay, and then in terms of the different missions that you go on, you've been all around the world.
Yeah.
Helping animals and clinics all around the world. Tell me a little bit more. Like, for example, this one, Lenny and Lana coming from Nunavut.
From Nunavut, from Iqaluit, Nunavut. So I've started 7.5 years ago to Jamaica, and then I think in order, India, Greece, Panama, back to India, Egypt, Ukraine a couple of times, back to India. And then we recently went, just last week, two of my kids and myself went and volunteered up in Nunavut. It was very cold. It was incredibly beautiful. The northern lights, the ice, everything. But they have no veterinarian there. They haven't had a vet in this city of 8,000 people, for 2.5 years. So people like myself go up there and work, and then sometimes we find these little guys that have health problems that need chronic care or need long-term care. So we ship them off back to Toronto here and help them out, and lots of TLC, and DJ's taking care of them, and one day they'll get a forever home and they'll forget all about me.
Oh, no, they won't.
I don't think so.
They'll always remember
so.
for you for helping them out. Again, so you've got a GoFundMe page set up for all the incredible work that you do.
Yeah, thank you. And this specifically is going to go to the Nunavut shelter, to the Iqaluit shelter. They need an X-ray machine, and it's going to be about $50,000.
Right.
So GoFundMe.com/CliffTheVet. Everything's going to them. It's a great cause, and they desperately need help.
Okay, and look, Stevie decided to join the dog party here. Didn't want to be left out. So again, thank you so much for a fun morning here. They took off. I don't know where they went, but Lenny's here, who I absolutely fell in love. And again, Lenny and Lana already have a wait list, and puppies never have an issue finding a home. But there's so many other animals out there in shelters and rescue groups that need a home.
Speak to your local veterinarian. They can help hook you up with the local shelters if you're not sure who to talk to. Adopt a senior pet. Adopt one that needs care, like these guys might, or little Stevie needs a home, but we're dealing with his diabetes. Adopt, don't shop, be kind to animals, and your life will be better.
I know many people are doing a little bit of spring cleaning and thinking, how do I spice up the house just a little bit? So here are some more design tips with none other than interior designer Steven Sabados. Hey, it's so nice to have these weekly segments with you.
This is awesome. We've got like a little breakfast club right here in my house.
We should. I love that. Okay, so we're going to talk about design trends, and one that's a classic and is super popular right now
It's wicker, rattan, and cane.
And there's a difference between each three, right?
There's a very big difference. And a lot of times we sort of interchange the words. I just wanted to do a little wicker, rattan, cane 101. Okay, so perfectly. So let's talk about wicker first. So wicker, everyone always thinks wicker is an actual product or a plant. It's actually not. Wicker just means the method of weaving.
had no idea.
Okay, so a lot of times, so we have, most of us have wicker furniture on our patio, right? And here in North America, we need to have it in a resin or in a plastic because it's going to be more durable, obviously, for snow and for weather conditions. So wicker can be plastic resin or a natural material. We also have thousands of these in our homes. I know you do, right?
I do, and they last forever.
Yeah, and this is like, we call it a wicker basket, okay? But this basket actually is made out of willow. So it's different. So again, it's just because it's woven. You probably also have a wicker handbag.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Again, that could be wicker, could be a natural material, could be a resin as well. So that's why I just want to say, when you see wicker, don't always think it's a natural fiber, because sometimes it's not.
Okay.
Okay, so this coffee table also could be wicker, okay? But this coffee table, it's seagrass and rattan. You can see the two different materials that are here. So again, you could say wicker coffee table. Right? But so that's what I just want to know. So when you are shopping or looking around, just be aware of that.
Okay, and then finally cane.
Or no, the next one's rattan.
Rattan, okay.
So rattan is part of the rattan plant. Okay, it's a tropical plant that grows, it's second growth to bamboo, so incredibly sustainable, which is fantastic. It also comes in different widths and thicknesses because it is a linear plant. So a lot of times when you see rattan furniture, it's the furniture that has those big rolled arms, armoires that have the big round sides, you know, that sort of feeling. Because rattan, it's very pliable, you can really manipulate it. And this lamp here, which is one of my lamps, is a rattan lamp. You can see the little core, so the bark has been stripped away and they get this thin little cord, and you can see like you can do like really intricate, this is another example as well. You can get intricate weaving, which is beautiful. It's also incredibly durable once it dries.
Yes, and I love the fact that it's a combination of contemporary with the rattan.
Absolutely, yeah. So a lot of people think, you know, if I decorate my house in all of this, it's going to start to feel like the set of Golden Girls.
Which it isn't.
It could if you go all that way, but it doesn't have to be. You know what I mean? It can be quite contemporary as well. And the thing with this one, I just want to mention as well, that this is more for an indoor setting. Okay, so so a lot of times rattan, even if it's treated, and if you're going to bring it outside and it gets wet and it's you know, and gets wet and dry, it's going to start to unfurrow. And a lot of times, I don't know about you, but I've sat in a lot of wicker and rattan chairs and went right through.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So yeah, a lot of these applications, keep them indoors. Unless we're in a tropical setting, then they're going to be great because they're a tropical plant. They like the tropics. They like the humidity.
Okay, and then finally cane.
Finally, we have cane. So a lot of people, we know this. So cane also comes from the rattan plant. So what they do is they strip away the bark, and they get the center core, and it comes off in these very thin little strips. From there, it can be woven into many different applications. This is called the 5-point cane, which we all know. And this caning has been around forever. They've actually found furniture in Egyptian tombs with this caning.
Wow.
So imagine, so this is like incredibly durable. Again, indoor applications, this doesn't like to get wet. If it does, that's when it starts to crack, and that's when, you know, you get those, you've seen those chairs at antique markets, where usually the seats are pushed through. Eventually this will, the cane actually won't wear out, but it's more just the, where the edges are, where it's attached to something. Again, a ton of applications for this here, like handbags, you name it, fashion, loves cane, you know, we're all crazy for crazy
and
and
then
wicker and
really
cane.
quickly as we wrap up, I love the mask and this wallpaper here.
The wallpaper here, I just wanted to show this here because it's a natural seagrass, right? So a grass cloth. And again, I just love because, again, if we're going to bring these natural elements into our space, number one, the trend is sustainable, natural, imperfect, right, which we want. So we know that someone actually wove this, and we want that artisanal quality in our home. Right, and that's the big, sort of the big overencompassing trend.
Love it. Okay, so more design tips. You can always check out Stephen on his socials as well as StephenSabados.com. Love the mask.
Love this, right?
Right? And welcome back. We have more design tips with Stephen Sabados, incredible interior designer. And I love this segment because we're going to talk about the color black. A lot of people are afraid of this color.
Absolutely, completely, yeah. And you know, because people think, you know, especially if I'm going to paint it in my house on a wall, it's going to make the place feel smaller, which actually it's the opposite. It'll make it feel larger. Or say if you're going to paint an armoire or cabinetry black. Here's the only trick I want to say. If you're going to paint it black, when you go to like a paint scale, don't go all the way to the end and find that midnight black. That midnight black, it generally is, it's almost like a dead color. It's very blue, it's very cold. So go a little bit further into the scale, sort of like an almost black, where it's a little browner, a little greener, maybe it's warmer, and it has more life. You'll kind of see, I was going to show it, but on camera you won't see it, it's all black. But you'll see the difference like that. It'll just feel, give a little more energy.
Okay, but you can also start off small with maybe some accessories, right?
Absolutely. And black I just love because, you know, it'll give your room some oomph. I just say that because that's that word. So I just wanted to first start with like a little setup here. Here we have a cute chair, you know, carpet. It feels a bit oatmeal, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to add some black accents. This I was going to bring in, but it's super heavy. But the other thing, huge trend right now, blackened wood, which is great. We can see the grain. It's going to really anchor our space here. So we have this as a start. And again, with all these elements that we're going to add, I'm not saying to use them all, but maybe if you just use one or two in your space. Okay. Next thing, we're going to anchor space with a beautiful gooseneck black lamp.
Beautiful. Which
is great. And the one thing I want to say about this is that for a trend, say if you have in a kitchen or in your home, if you're transitioning from, say, gold and silver accessories, bring in like a black metal.
Love it.
It marries the two metals together.
Okay,
so
and then you've
next
got
thing,
this.
Then we have this cute button ottoman. Huge staple. You have to have a button ottoman. Absolute must. Big trend, and again, in black. It's really, like, this looks like an exclamation mark,
Love
right?
it.
So here we can then also add, again, you don't have to add all these elements, but even if you just added one, a small little round black lamp beside a neutral chair, right? Here we have another little accessory that we're going to talk about. These little metal little side tables.
Right. Our favorite planter. If you saw last week, this was actually like a peach fuzz white kind of color.
It's peach fuzz. I painted it in this sort of faux metal finish, which we're going to talk about in a minute.
Great, and you paid only like $5 for this.
This was $5, and again, it's going to come in every single segment. So look at this, already looks great. This, I want to say, gee, this, if you have one thing, a round pillow.
Round pillow. This is the hottest accessory
hottest accessory for your home right now. And I think it's just because we're sort of bored of square pillows.
Yes.
And this is reminiscent, I think, of a 1950s, 60s kind of thing. And again, on the chair, look at this.
Beautiful.
And
there you go.
Like, that's so powerful, I think, in a sense. So round pillows, especially in black, fantastic for your furniture.
Okay, so now we're going to do a little mini do-it-yourself.
Here's a little tiny DIY.
So remember this, we mentioned you bought this for
$4 or $5, which is great. I don't know if you can really see this, everybody. It's like a very rough, matte metal finish, right? Which is really, really great.
And this is easy to do?
Super, super. I'm going to show you probably the biggest secret in the world that we do. So we're going to get like a matte black gesso, okay? Any art supply store. And here's the secret ingredient.
Baking soda?
Baking soda.
Why? What does that do?
Baking soda will give it, when you stir it up, so you're going to mix about equal parts, baking soda and this. The baking soda will hold it, and it'll give it a tooth, or if you almost feel this, see the texture that you get? That will give it this texture. This I use in my art all the time. This is the biggest secret for faux finishing.
Got it.
Honestly, and it's so fantastic. So here we just have dollar store metal containers.
Yeah.
We primed it first with a high adhesion primer. And here, take your brush. We're both going to do this. And then what you want to do is just generous amount.
Generous
amount. Dip it in. And
and dab?
Dab.
Don't do paint strokes.
No, dab it. So what that'll do, and you know what happens? The bicarbonate actually doesn't melt, and it gives it this really great sandy kind of finish. Super inexpensive. Super inexpensive.
But it looks so rich by the time it's all finished.
Absolutely, and you can do this to anything.
Right.
Like literally you have a little side table, a little something, a little decorative object, but, and you let this dry. And again, we were talking earlier, the matte finish is what you want.
Right, you don't want glossy,
No.
and you want that texture.
And you could use, I use here I have the acrylic. You could use a black house paint, you know, any sort of, if you have leftover house paint, but you can kind of see when it goes on.
You see the texture.
Love this, yeah.
I love that.
Super simple, best kept secret, I'm telling you.
Baking soda, there you go. Stephen, I love all these tips. Again, if you want more information, you can go to his social media platforms or stevensabados.com. Can't wait to see what we're going to do next week for Design Trends.